Hi guys. I just thought I'd do an update because I haven't done one since the hospital. Yeah, that's right. The hospital. So I think the last update I was in a lot of pain. Oh, itchy nose from the morphine. Um, so yeah, I was like lying in the hospital bed and in a lot of pain from my port and stuff. But hallelujah, the pain has gone for the most part. Like, it's sore sometimes and it's sore if I like lie on my left side. I've only just managed to get a brow on today, so I got the port done like I don't even know, like weeks ago, and I've only just got a brow on today. But it's fine. It's like it's totally accept like it's fine. I'm not like in pain. I thought I would be in a lot of pain because it's obviously like tight and stuff, and the port's actually quite low down. So I don't, obviously the pushing and all of that lark. I was a bit worried about it, so I put it off and put it off and put it off. I wear pyjamas every day anyway, so it's not like I have a life or do anything, or I just wear pyjamas and sit in my bed like right now, like beddy time. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about my port and like what happened following that. So while I was still in the hospital, we went to the cinema in the hospital, which was really cool. Like, we went to see Victoria and Abdul in it's Medicinema, and they come up and get you, the volunteers, and a new friend of mine works there, volunteers there. She's also vegan, and she came up and got me, and she brought me the like little jelly, what are they called? Jelly bears? Gummy bears. She brought me gummy bears. And then she brought me down to the cinema, and the cinema was so cool. Like, obviously, it's adult nights on like Tuesdays and Thursdays, and all different like patients from around the hospital can go down. So there's like space for like beds and wheelchairs. I get taken down in a wheelchair, and then with my independent nature, I was like, hey, I'm getting out of this wheelchair and I'm going up on the comfy chairs. So went up there. My husband fell asleep though, like 5 minutes in, because he was jet lagged, and a woman had like a bit of a difficulty with her breathing. I thought she was going to die. I was really worried, but she was all right, thank God. But everybody in there's all poorly. Obviously, we're all in hospital, varying degrees of like illness and length of time I've been in there and stuff. But it was really, really nice to like share in a moment with them, and we're all laughing together and enjoying the movie together, and it was just it took our minds off it for a couple hours. It was just really nice. It made me feel really happy inside because we were all doing something together. Like, I'd never knew these people. I didn't have a clue who they were. But we all joined in this moment for a couple hours where we escaped what was going on and happening. So I really enjoyed that. Also, what else did we do? So, ordered Papa John's and such. But yeah, so I got out of there, eventually got home, because they kept me in for ages. Like, there was no need for it. I was in to get my port fitted, but like, that's an overnight thing. Like, you just, like, not even an overnight. If it was a normal person getting a port, they would be in the daytime and get out a few hours after, once they've eaten something. I was in the night before, and then I was in for like a couple of weeks, a week and a half, nearly 2 weeks. Because no one in the hospital, the super hospital, may I add, where they've like shut down a bunch of hospitals in Glasgow and made one big giant super hospital, Not one person in there knew how to work a port. What? So I knew how to work it, and I was trying to tell them, and they were like, oh, we can't touch it because we don't know anything about it. So we had to wait for a woman to come down and access the port, which is the new part. So you've seen where I had the stitches, like the paper stitches, and they were all bloody. So the last time you seen me, that's what I had. Now, so the woman came who accesses ports every day of her life. That's her job, to access people's ports and put infusions up. She stabbed me in the port and it wouldn't flush. So when something wouldn't flush, it's like where you've got your saline in the syringe and then you're like pushing it and it won't go in. So she had to take it out. We couldn't get blood draw back. There was nothing. So wait, I'll show you. So here is the tube for like the medicine to go in. And that goes up here, down into here. This is the needle that goes in to the port, which is under my skin. So that didn't work, and I was freaking out, and I had to wait till the next day and go down to radiology again. And the radiologist, surgery guy, accessed the port. So both of these times, I couldn't numb it because it happened so fast. Like they whipped me away like really fast and stabbed me in the chest and did all their business. So it hurt. It really hurts. Like it does hurt getting stabbed like in the chest. It hurts like a bunch. It felt like fire, like because it was all bruised still. It just felt like my whole chest was on fire and stuff. But he managed to get it and he flushed it and it was great. So that was good. And then I got out of hospital and a couple of days later I was to go for my normal Wednesday infusion. Went in, got bloods out, easy peasy. Like they literally just, like here is the little end part, the little, what's it called? Bung. We just call it a bung. Anyway, so the end bung's on, and then they get a syringe and they stick it in and they suck out all the, like, because obviously in here, in the tubing is like heparin, which is like a anticoagulant thing so that I don't get blood clots. So they suck out all that until all the blood starts coming out, and then they take the blood sample. No jagging, no nothing. And then once they've got the blood, they flush it and then put in just literally plug it in. That's it. My magnesium infusion's up. 7 hours, 8 hours later, unplug it, put a flush. They flush the tube in to make sure all the magnesium's in my body. And then they put the heparin lock in, which is the anticoagulant. And that just sits in the line so it doesn't like clog up or anything. But I'll have this on for a month, then get it off for a week, and then go back, because I go every Wednesday for my infusions. So I'll have a week off in between at the end of the month, or whatever it works out to be. So I'll have a week off and I'll be able to like have a bath and do all the stuff that I won't be able to do with this in, because obviously I can't submerge my body in a bath or go swimming or go to a sauna or do any of that stuff. I might even be able to get a massage in that week if I'm able to lie in my front, but I don't know if I'm able to lie in my front because I've not had the needle in when it's not been bruised, so we shall see. Yeah, so it makes my life a hell of a lot easier. Like, I don't have to get cannulas in and get bloods taken and have veins collapsing like 8 times a day, and like it hurts and it takes a massive toll on my body just having my veins collapsing. So as soon as my vein collapses, like, you would just think, oh, your vein collapses, we'll just fling another one in. But it's like a mental stress on me, because I'm thinking, oh, I've got to find another vein and I don't have any veins, and where are they going to get one? Are they going to have to go in my chest? Are they going to have to go in my leg? Like, there's the panic about it. What if they can't find a vein? What if there isn't any veins? Like, because I've had a lot of difficulties just because we've used all the veins up, like, to within an inch of their life. So it was a big stress, and every week there is that level of stress where I think, oh my god, what if it doesn't flush? And I stress myself out. I shouldn't think about it that much, but because of that first time when it didn't flush, that freaked me out. So it is a big worry that it's going to not flush one day or something's going to go wrong with it, because it's a bit of machinery or whatever. It's like a little gadget, so it could go wrong. It could very well fail. It could clot. Something could happen, but it worries me. But I think, like, it's not hurting, but the one thing that is really weirding me out is the fact that it's nothing to do with this part. Like, this part's fine. I have a needle in my chest. It's all good. It's right here, and then I've got my tube in, and I've got my little extra straw, like, suck my heart juices out. That's totally fine. It's this. So here is the tiny little cut that they made so that they could put the tube in, or the catheter they call it. So the catheter comes down from there into my port down here. So it goes from a port, whoop, right up here, and you can feel it. Like, that's what's creepy, is that you can feel it. Ugh, yuck. Creeps. And then in this little hole, that's where they, like, shove it down into your rib cage, and, well, like, not into your, it doesn't just dangle about, but into the vein in there, and then they follow that down into your heart. So this tube goes right to my heart. But here, like, when I'm brushing my teeth, it, like, sticks out. And if I, like, move in a certain way, I don't know if I could maybe show you. Oh, there you go. Can you see it? It's horrible. So yeah, that's creepy. It doesn't hurt at all. It just creeps me right out my skin. I don't like it. Ugh. But it does change my life, and it is really good. But that bit's just yuck. I can't even imagine wearing a necklace. Like, the thought of wearing a necklace and it touching that, like, I probably wouldn't even feel it. But it's the thought of it. I'm like, ew, yuck. I've got to obviously be careful with seatbelts. I can't have, like, my seatbelt over it. It's just stupid business. So I put it underneath my arm. I've got a card saying I've got a port anyway. So if the police were to stop me and be like, where's your seatbelt? I'd be like, under my arm, because I've got thing. And hopefully they don't get me in trouble. Oh, also, I got a wheelchair. My husband bought me a wheelchair because I can't really walk along. I can't walk much or far. I get really out of breath and dizzy and faint, and I can't walk anymore. So I can walk. Don't get me wrong, I can walk. I can walk around, but if I'm going somewhere, like if I was to go on the train somewhere or go out for the day, I need to take my chair, because I will need to sit down. I'll need to rest. Most of the time I try and push it and exercise, but then when I start getting dizzy or nauseous or faint or weak or breathless, then I'll sit in my chair and be pushed. But I want to retain as much independence as I can. I just want to be really realistic and not end up like I did in Glasgow the last time I went myself, when I passed out 3 times and then had to go to hospital. So, like, I don't want that to happen again. I'm, like, totally cool with having a chair. I've got no shame. Like, I'm not ashamed of it or anything. Like, I have to be realistic. I don't want to pass out in the street. I don't want to have a big carry-on. I hate all that attention. Like, I don't want that at all. I want to be, like, feel a little bit dizzy, if there's no chairs around, I can just sit in my wheelchair. It's totally fine. Like, who cares? It's not like I'm out to impress anyone. If I physically can't walk, I can't walk. So what can you do? It is kind of sucky that I've got to do that, but it's just my life. There's no point in crying over spilt milk. Like, what is the point in worrying about that? But it's fine. I'm really good at a wheelchair anyway. I'm like really nifty. I can like spin myself around in tight spots and stuff because I've been in a wheelchair before. Bunch of times. But I had a wheelchair for a few months when I had 2 broken feet, when I had to have my feet broken. They're all like smashed up to smithereens and then reset. So both of my feet get done at the same time. This was years ago and I had to have a wheelchair. So yeah. So that's kind of the update, I think. I'm just staying with my mum just now, just because my husband's working and he's got stuff to do. So I'm staying here for a couple of nights, which is nice. It's nice and quiet. It's so quiet here. Apart from the neighbours are really loud, and I think there's a party going on out there outside. But hey ho, I'm not partying. I'm at home watching movies about, I think, what's that movie I'm watching just now? It's called Until Forever. It's about a guy and he gets cancer and his girlfriend's like standing by him. It's like, I like to watch those movies. Like, all the movies like that are about cancer and stuff, but I can relate to being in the hospital all the time and being poorly and having people doing things, stabbing you with things and getting treatment that makes you feel like crap. And like, I live that every day, so I may not have cancer, but I can totally relate to what they're going through. So it's nice to watch something like, I mean, it's not nice to watch something like that, but it makes you feel less like you're alone, and it's like someone else is going through it, and you can watch that when you feel kind of crappy yourself. So that's what I'm doing. Watching movies and eating cottage pie, because that's the only thing I can eat is cottage pie. Everything else makes me vomit. So yeah, I think that's everything in the recap of the last couple of weeks. I think that's it. I'll keep you more up to date. And I'm glad you got to see. Oh, yeah, I called my port a name. It's called Voldemort. Like Voldemort, obviously. But look at this. So you can see, like, let's see if we can get the light on it. Ooh. So here we have this scar. See, like, where it was, like, bleeding in the hospital. So that's the scar here. Ew, that's like scab on it. And then this little square thing is like cushioned. It's like got a cushioned bit around it to protect it. And then there's like the needle, the metal needle that goes right down into the port. And then the little tube comes out and goes out. Bing! Here. So I have this little bit that's like a little bung. It's like filters out the air bubbles or something, and that's just my little clip that keeps it closed. So now you've met Voldemort. Ha ha ha. Pretty cool, huh? Changing my life. It's changing my life. Oh yeah. So yeah, and it's really discreet. Like, it's actually pretty discreet. Like, I mean, it's not that obvious. I made them take off the gauze because they kept putting gauze on it, but it was really, really obvious. And I was like, I don't really want people going, oh, what's she got gauze on her chest for? That's really weird. Like, this way, like, you can't really see it, and it's like just sticks out a little bit on my t-shirt, but nobody notice. It's fine. So yeah, you've met Voldemort, and you know what's been going on, and you know I'm alive, and you know that I am just my usual self. So I'm going to go watch the rest of this movie and upload, and I hope that everybody's well, and I hope that all my hypopara and APS1 and Addison's disease friends are all well, and I hope that everyone else that are battling, like if you're watching this and you're battling illness or chronic illness or diseases or cancer or anything that makes you struggle every day, if you feel like you can't get up in the morning, like I feel you, I'm with you. Just know that you can always do something you think you can't do. Like, I'm stealing other people's taglines, I shouldn't do that. That was an accident. But you need to push yourself and try and just stay cheery. Like, even the worst of situations will have a positive. Everything in my life has got a positive. Like, if I didn't, like, this hurt like hell. It was awful getting it, the trauma of not being able to flush it, the fact that it hurt so bad and I couldn't take anti-inflammatories. Then I got a kidney infection. Then I felt like crap and kept getting low blood sugar and stuff, hypoglycemia. It was a pain. It wasn't fun. It wasn't easy sailing at all. But the plus side is that this is going to change my life, and I am going to annoy my doctors until they let me have infusions at home. That will be the highlight of my life if I can do that. My conditions, every one of my conditions are rare. One of them, I'm 1 in 300 people in the world that have it. So, like, I know that I'm rare, and I know that I need to spread the word, and that's why I'm doing this. But I also know that I wouldn't have met the amazing people that I've met if I didn't have this. And I wouldn't be this person that I am today and strong as I am if I didn't have those conditions. Like, God knows where I would be, like, if I didn't have these conditions. I don't even know what I would be doing or where I would be right now if I didn't have anything wrong with me. It's like bizarre, because I've had this my whole entire life. It's made me strong. It's made me a person that can deal with anything and take it on with a smile on my face. Like, obviously some days I get really exhausted, but hey,